When you want to improve your range of motion of your joints and increase the flexibility of your muscles, I want you to start thinking more in terms of strength than stretching. By focusing on our strength, we're going to be able to really increase the connection that we have to our muscles and truly, for long term, increase our flexibility. So follow this hip routine along. It's going to be a challenging one. We're going to work on some hovers, in range of motion liftoffs, and hopefully you don't cramp. If you do, that just means you need to work on it just a little bit more. All right, guys, let's get going. We're going to go in 90-90. Now, if you have a tennis ball or a golf ball, that's going to be a good marker for us to set up that we can train up and around as we go through these hovers. If you don't, just imagine that there's something there, and that will work just fine. What I want you to do is place I'll show you from this angle. So we're going to sit 90-90, back leg at 90 degrees about, and then front leg at 90-90. Depending on your range of motion in your hips, you may have to close off the angles just a little bit, and that's totally fine. Sit where you can sit nice and tall and you're not crouched over. So if you have to close off the angles a little bit, that's cool. So what I want you to do is place the golf ball and or tennis ball right in the front of your foot there. And what you're going to do is lean over. You can place your hand down on the ground. If you can, stay up tall. Place your hand on the ground or the elbow if you need a little bit more range of motion. You're going to go up and over, keeping this knee on the ground, squeezing the hip. You're going to tap your toe, rotating the knee, rotating the tibia down, tap the toe in front of that ball, and then tap your heel behind the ball. Raise it up, tap in front, rotate, and then try to tap your heel behind. Adjust the ball as needed of where you're able to contract that movement from. So we're going to go 8 each direction, nice, slow, and controlled. Rotate, tap the heel, and then you're going to rotate the tibia to the front and tap the toe. Like I said, this could be a tennis ball, a little bit harder. A block is a little bit too difficult. It's going to be a little bit high for most people. 2 more. Good, let's switch sides. Now we're hitting that left hip, working on our internal rotation. So I place that tennis ball down, adjust as needed, sit nice and tall. I'm gonna start with my hand on the ground, pushing in, activating my core, breathing into my belly, rotate that toe in front, and then behind. I'm gonna open up the angle to challenge myself a little bit more. The tighter it is, the easier it is. If I move that hip back, it's gonna be more difficult. Adjust the ball as needed. Like I said, if you need to, if this is too difficult from up here, plop yourself down onto your elbow, drive it up and back down. 3 more. Boom, there you have it. Back to the other side. Now we're going to work on some external rotation, or basically some hovers from the hip capsule. So really working on the capsule as opposed to the internal rotation of the knee. So here we go. What I want to do now is lift up the whole knee from the knee down to the ankle. So from here, if you had a block, tennis ball, or golf ball, you're going to place it behind, kind of right where your hamstring is, right where your glute is. So if I show you from this side, you're going to place it just like so. You're going to try to sit tall, and you're going to lift the whole thing and then move it on back into more of an extension. Drive it up. So now we're moving the entire hip back and forth. Now if this is too difficult, like I said, place that hand down. And then you don't need necessarily that object to go over. You can just imagine that something's there, barely lifting off. So here we go. Challenge yourself. This is the easiest way. Up to your hand. Then hands up, bracing the core. 8 apiece, 8 apiece. Good, switch. Placing that object behind your crease of your butt, your hamstring, sit tall. Drive that leg back and forward. Now you really feel it deep in that hip capsule on this one. Whereas before the other one was kind of up on top a little bit more. Keep practicing. Last one. Nice, back into 90-90 on the other side. Last one, we'll work a little external rotation now. So what I want to do is we're going to squeeze the inside of our leg, working to rotate our leg up, just like so. So I'm going to place that ball right in the front of my foot here, and we're going to lift up and over. This one's the toughest one now. I'm going to have to go to my elbow to really work on that rotation. And down, up, and over. For most of us, we don't even need an object there. Just pretend, trying to straighten the leg just a little bit, and then come back in front. Last one. Good, switch. If you can, challenge yourself to stay up here on your hands. If you can go from here, that's impressive. Let's see what you got. Last one. Boom, there you have it. Increase the amount of strength you have so that you can increase the flexibility and the amount of work capacity that your hips can do. Keep on moving.